I created my own challenge in Pokemon TCG Pocket. It's called the Gym Leader Challenge. Let me tell you all about it. I'm starting the Kanto series, and I'm going to be starting with Brock first, and I'm going to be going to the next gym leader, which will be Misty after that, and go so on and so forth all the way until I get to the end, to the 8th and final gym leader for this set. So there's 3 main things. First thing is, you're going to have to use any Pokemon that the gym leader has ever used in either the anime, the manga, or any of the video games. Rule number 2 is going to be you have to use 2 of their supporter cards. So for instance, I'm gonna start with Brock, so my deck has to have 2 Brock trainer cards in the deck. The third and final thing is I have to win 7 out of 10 games to complete the challenge. So I'm pretty much becoming a gym leader, and I'm trying to keep 7 people from getting a bad from me. Okay, so the deck list breakdown. I got 2 Aerodactyl, 2 Onix, 2 Cubone, 2 Marowak, 2 Old Ambers, 2 X-Speeds, 2 Pokeballs, 2 Brocks, 2 Professor's Research, and 2 Sabrina. Now, to break down each game that each of these mons have come from. Aerodactyl is from Black 2 and White 2. Brock had this Pokemon in here. And for Onix, we know Onix is one of his staples that he's had. You can guess in many places where I got that from. Cubone and Marowak actually come from Brock's Pokemon Stadium team. He's actually one of the Pokemon that's actually listed on the N64 version of Pokemon Stadium 1. So I decided to use Cubone. And here we go. First up, we have the Charizard deck. This deck is crazy. It is listed as a tier 1 deck now. We take out the Moltres early. I was actually happy about that. And they actually got Charizard in the background, so I kind of wanted to go ahead and start getting a free hit on this Charizard before it started doing all its damage. Got my Onix right up out of there, and it's actually going to try to sweep all my Pokemon. So actually I tried to use my Primal Wing Beat right here, and it did not fare too well for me. And my Aerodactyl actually got his butt sniped right there, and I was hoping that I was going to be able to hit a double heads on this, and I hit him for 0. Yeah, we concede. We start out 0-1, okay? Yeah, next one's up. The Nidoking deck. So Nidoking comes out. My Onix is ready. We hit it. It's left with 1 pretty much hit left. They put a potion on it and they knock out my Onix. Here we go. Another Primal Wing Beat again. Let's see if it's on my side. Flip. Yes! Bye, Nidoking. The hell up out of here. And now Weezing comes in. We try it again. Let's see what happens. Nope. Doesn't do it. Hits it. Takes out my Aerodactyl. I'm frustrated at that. I'm like, okay, all right, tie game. Let's do this. I'm gonna go hit it with 80 plus the 20, so it has 10 HP left. All right. My opponent Koga's here, and he did not realize that if you Koga without any Pokemon in the bench, you will lose. Next up was a Mewtwo Pidgeot deck, but I think it was a Mewtwo only and not a Mewtwo EX, I think. And I happened to got that Pidgeot real quick, and Mewtwo gave up. Alright, next one is a Starmie Greninja deck. And Greninja is actually gaining a lot more popularity around here nowadays. If you guys have been playing, a lot of people are running Greninja nowadays, so it's fun to see Greninja getting more play. And right here, play Professor's Research. Get our double cards right here. Put my energy onto my Cubone and start growling here. So now the Staryu cannot attack me because now we use the negative effect on him. So he takes 20 down from his attack. And he has an Articuno. Yeah, Articuno and Starmie are best friends, you already know. And he hit the Misty, of course, and that's always upsetting, but you got to deal with it. So he brings out Articuno, and he's trying to do damage. All right, so what we need to do is start setting things up, okay? So let's go ahead and double here, and that's perfect. That gives us the Pokeball that we need to be able to start to set multiple Pokemon on the bench. I hate just having one Pokemon on the bench. It just leaves you subjective to the Sabrina. And so now it's time to hit this Mon. We hit him for 0, and I know anybody who uses a coin flip deck hates that. Like, what is the likelihood of me getting double tails? I feel like I get double tails more than anything. Yep, he hit on his Misty again, at least for that 1 energy, and that sucks. And so here we go. So now I'm kind of thinking what I want to do. I kind of want to get somebody on my bench set up, and I don't really know who. And I'm thinking maybe Onix. I said, let's go ahead and put Onix on there, get a Brock going on him, and get him ready for this next one. So we're going for it, and we get the double heads. Bye-bye, Articuno. Get on out of here. And so now my opponent has to make a decision, because now he has Staryu and he has Frigadier sitting back there, and they're both one-shottable on my Marowak. So who is he going to put out there? And he puts out Frigadier, and he evolves it into Greninja. That's the crazy part, man. He got the Greninja out there, hits me for 20. Bye-bye, Marowak. That was upsetting. It's a good play by my opponent, but now it's time for Onix to do damage. Onix is ready, and we only have one more point that we can give up, so let's see what happens here. And right here we Pokeball. Get that mon out. Okay, we got another Onix. Go ahead and put Onix on the bench. And right here, we're going to get that Staryu. I'm saying, come on, Staryu. Come on out of here. Sabrina steals the game. We got another one. Let's get it. This game, I was in a terrible spot. Mewtwo's up with Gardevoir in the back. It was not looking good at all. All I could do is prime a Wing Beat and get this thing sent back to the deck, but I hit a tail, so all I could do is concede. If you get Mewtwo and Gardevoir online, GG's. Go ahead and concede to that. All right, next game, we're going up. I got Onix right here I can summon. There's a lot of times you're gonna have Onix in your starting hand. That's one thing I realized, and it always had a Brock with it for the most part, which I love. And now we have another Charizard deck. And so now we gotta get our get back from the first game that we lost. And so I happen to get this Moltres out of here, and now we're rolling. All right. So my opponent switches out his Charmeleon for his Moltres, and he wants to try to get him more energy. He does get him more energy. And I'm like, no. Bring Charmeleon back up here. Let me go ahead and hit this Mon. And I hit his Charmeleon for 20. My opponent sits there. He could have Charizard in his hand, but I don't know if he did. And he switches back, and he has his Moltres. The next hand, I drew Sabrina again, and it looks like my opponent did not have the Charizard. I set down my Aerodactyl, throw down my Marowak, and I put an energy on Marowak, and now all my bench Pokemon are all ready to go. So if I need to pivot, they are all looking pretty good. And my opponent here can't not do anything. They're sitting here thinking for a long time. I don't think they got the Charizard. They concede. We got that victory back on Charizard. Thank goodness. Next time we go against a Starmie Articuno deck, and my opponent kind of actually just has me on the ropes right here. There's not really much that we can do at this point. My Onix is here. We just go ahead and concede to the next one. It is what it is. The next game actually is an interesting one. It was a Greninja and a Weezing deck. Haven't really played that one before, and it was actually going in my direction. It was a pretty good fight, I would say, but we pretty much had a lot of good things happening for us. We got our bench set up, we got our Marowak going. Look at the damage right there, and we are just clicking buttons. My opponent really couldn't do anything, and we click buttons again, and we hit him, knock his Mon out. There's not much you can do. This deck was actually very interesting to see, and I feel like anytime anybody ever uses Weezing, they always get the Weezing. Yep, and then my opponent actually concedes after that point. It's pretty much over, and we are on to the next one. Another Froakie and Staryu. I'm telling you, the Greninjas are out, man. Everybody's loving that Mon. I bring that Staryu up because I want to get that Staryu out of here. I do not want any Starmies coming in, hitting me with 90, and we managed to take it out. So that was fantastic. That was a good play by me. Always want to take out your Staryus. All right, so now my opponent pulls another Staryu. They got their Greninja set up, and now they're going to start doing their damage. Hitting me with his Shuriken, and now my turn. Woo! Thank goodness. I hit one of those heads. Boom! Greninja in the range. Now, both of his Mons are in range to die. So what is my opponent going to do? Like, is he going to protect his Greninja? Is he going to keep him out there? He keeps him out there. He wants to kill my Marowak. And now it looks like he got me on the ropes. What am I going to do right here? I still need to get my Onix going. I have my Brock. I was like, I need to go ahead and use this, get this Brock going. I could have tried to Sabrina or something like that, but I want to get Greninja out of there. And my opponent concedes right there once he sees the Brock come out of there, and we're on to the next one. This one was a Kingler. This one was a Kingler Articuno deck. Interesting deck. My opponent actually knocks out my Aerodactyl. And now it's time for me to get my Marowak out there, and looky here, double heads all of a sudden. And Kingler actually can be a very dangerous mon out there, man, with the fact that it can do 160 damage if it gets double heads. So whenever you see Kingler out there, you always want to try to get that mon destroyed as soon as possible. And now it's time to click Boomerang and start trying to put some damage on this Articuno. And now my opponent is sweating. And now it's actually my turn again. And we'll another one, boom, bam. So now my opponent switches in his other Articuno, and now he's ready to start taking care of me. This duel was actually a really fun duel. There was a lot of strategy into this one. On this one, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I kind of wanted to just throw it on this other Onix just in case, because my other Marowaks are pretty much all ready to go. And so right here, look at Kingler, hit the heads, double heads on Kingler, like I mentioned earlier. Very dangerous mon, and that double heads I feel like comes out a lot more often than it should. And this was perfect. This was perfect. I had both of my opponent's Articunos looking dead in the back, and it was time. All I needed to do was hit one head to win this game, and I did it. We beat the Articuno Kingler. That was actually a good duel. Good one. You did to my opponent on that one. Barely got through that one. 7 out of 10 with Brock. That was a fun deck, fun challenge. We got the first one down. Look forward to the Misty one coming very soon. I'm gonna be posting that, so make sure you guys follow my channel, subscribe to this channel. Make sure you guys like the video if you did enjoy it. Misty deck is coming soon, and be prepared, it's a good one.